is one of the biggest inventions and innovations in the history of mankind. The apps, they should be understanding it. It is a big deal.
What is an AI agent and how can you create an AI automation workflow to help in any walk of life? In this video series, that is exactly what I'm covering after many requests. In the last video, you might have saw I covered how to create a simple first AI agent for yourself, which checks your calendar on Google Calendar. And I talked you through what exactly is this AI agent platform called n8n. In this video, I'm going to briefly recap on what is an AI agent and then dive straight into an advanced stock analysis platform which works with the stock market industry, detecting technical analysis, sentiment, etc, etc, etc. It will then email you a stock report. So it's a much more advanced agent, and I'm going to be discussing that in this video. Before we dive in, I'm Ben. Welcome to Motivation to Invest. We cover everything on this channel from tech, AI, and also stock market investing. I will briefly touch on crypto as well as it becomes relevant. If you're new around here, feel free to join the family by hitting that subscribe button, and let's dive in. So what is an AI agent?
You. Yes, me.
Okay, so it's not quite that type of agent. An AI agent is a software system that uses artificial intelligence to interact with its environment, gather information, and take actions to achieve predetermined goals. Okay, with that background, let's dive into this advanced platform right now. I'm going to talk you through it all the way. Shout out to Eli Guez as well, who did the original template. I had to do a lot of adaptations on this template because it didn't really work out the bot. Basically, this does comprehensive stock analysis. It calls it on a weekly workflow by analyzing stock data from multiple sources. So we're going to be using a few different API providers. One is Chart Image, which I believe takes a screenshot of Trading 212. One is 12 Data API, and one is Alpha Vantage. Now, don't worry about these names, all will become clear. Next, it will then perform technical analysis using indicators RSI, MACD. I won't go into what technical analysis is in this video, basically for short-term trading. And then it will also scan financial news and give a market sentiment score. Then it will identify patterns, trends, etc., and then give you all that as an email. So that is the whole platform. There is three core workflows. Workflow one, this is the master workflow. We have a on-form submission where you basically type in a stock ticker. Could be Tesla, Apple, Meta, whatever you want to do. It will then go to our AI tools agent, which we'll call two other sub-workflows, So two other sub-workflows. We have the technical analysis tool and the trend analysis tool. This will compile all that together, create some code, create it as a HTML email, and then email it to you. So that is the master workflow. If we double click inside this one, basically this connects to this huge technical analysis node here. I'm going to go through this again, not in a massive amount of detail, but just to talk on what each node does. Workflow input trigger, which comes from the master. It connects with the stock symbol that you would have selected, Tesla. It pulls the chart API from that particular API. It gets the price history, it gets the Bollinger Bands and the MACD, which are technical indicators for trading, calculates the support resistance, merges them all together, and then simultaneously downloads a chart from TradingView, puts it into the technical analysis inside OpenAI, merges all that together, gives it in a JSON format, which don't worry about that if you're not super technical, goes into this model and then gives a final response, which then goes back up to here, into here, and then into here. Now, the trend analysis tool is a simple version as well. So this basically analyzes new sentiment on the stocks. So again, it pulls from the API Alpha Vantage in this case, sets the variables, gets the news data. You can see here, it looks at the news data from Alpha Vantage API, analyzes the input, and then it outputs it again to here. Now, that may sound complicated, guys, but it's not actually that complicated. And I can talk you through exactly how this works. Test workflow. It then opens this window here, and I can say, okay, Tesla, where we all like Tesla, send it to this email. I removed the scheduling from the template just to make it simple for this, but basically now you can see all these workflows are working. These are working, and they're working on a different screen as well. So the technical analysis workflow is here on a different screen, and the trend analysis is on a different screen because you can't have it all in one. And I'll discuss that after. So this is working away. Generate HTML, beautiful workflow executed successfully. And I'm not saying that happens all the time. You do get some errors. Let's check out exactly if it worked and if I got an email. Sometimes you have to check your spam. So I've got an email here. Okay, perfect. So dot report Tesla 17th of May. Recommendation: hold Tesla amidst balanced market indicators in light of recent technical and sentiment analysis. Holding the Tesla position remains prudent. The stock price lies above the exponential moving average, suggesting a potential upward trend. RSI remains neutral at 56. So support and resistance I've identified at 180, 160, 220, 245. Now, if you're into trading, I don't need to explain to you what all this means, but basically you have stock price, you have these obviously candlestick charts, you have support and resistance lines. I did a video a while back on technical analysis. Sentiment analysis reveals a neutral outlook. And now normally to do this, you would have had to go into TradingView. You would have had to look at the charts. You would have had to do some analysis. It might have taken you 15, 20 minutes, maybe even half an hour, depending on how much detail you're going into. And this, boom, instant. Technical summary has got it down here. Stock price currently rests on above the exponential moving average. So it's basically saying, commonly interpreted as a sign of an upward trend. Though this requires further validation from the RSI, and this is your RSI here. So they need to see basically, I believe, a boost from this. As the RSI boosts up, we should expect an upward trend in the stock. But for now, we're at neutral. Resistance, it tells you here. Market sentiment, there's 9 news articles which say bullish, 16 neutral, 1 bearish. Overall sentiment neutral. I'm surprised about that. I thought the sentiment would have been more bullish, but actually most are neutral. So there we go. Top articles. Tesla futurist. He's given a $1,000 price target. Tesla adds Chipotle executive, and why Danish company is telling Tesla thanks for the ride. So that is basically the reporting tool. So I hope you found this actually super valuable. Let's now dive into more of the functionality of how this workflow works. As mentioned, if you have any of these templates from n8n, and this one required a huge amount of adaptation, you might see these 3 big sub workflows. Now, a top tip straight away is don't expect these all to work in the same window, which I think is a bit crazy. But what you have to do is hover over, copy all these nodes, open a new workflow. So go and then new. But on a new window, of course, as I've done here, copy it into here. That is a separate workflow. That is a separate workflow you see here. So that is just a real good top tip, because I spent a long period of time trying to run it all in one when I was playing around with n8n. Okay, so let's do another review of how you would set this up originally. The main thing is really credentials. So all these nodes can be found here. So tool node is basically one of these here. And you can then, from the tool node, you can then set various different parameters inside it. So credentials is the main one. So you go to the GPT model, credential to connect with its OpenAI account. And I would have set that up prior through the OpenAI API. This one here, you go to the 12 data API key. For example, on this one, get chart URL, you click inside, you see this is the URL for the chart called chart-image API. Again, the credentials here, you click this pencil icon here. You can call it usually anything but test API. Sometimes there's a specific name. You can ask ChatGPT and you paste your API key here. I'll show you where we got this API from, you'd go to chart-image.com. And you can see here, it allows you to pull different charts. Then you obviously sign in. Once you're signed in and you have a plan, in this case, I've got the free plan just to test it for you guys. Then you click API key, and inside there will be your API key. Now, of course, I'll blank this for the video because I don't want you to see my API key and use loads of calls on it. But yeah, you click inside API key, and that is your API key. So once you've got the API key, you copy it. You go back into, click here. Remember the pencil icon, copy the key in, and then that's it. You can sometimes test each individual step, which is also something I would recommend. And when you test it, you can see what is the input and what is the output. So here you can see, okay, the input was, for example, Apple, and the output was the chart URL for Apple in this case. And you can see that here. So even if you're not a coder, as you read it, it does become more clear, and you can ask ChatGPT anytime, which is the beauty of this world we live in. And so what I just showed you there was exactly the same for this, except from this one, we use what's called the 12 data API. So we go here, stock symbol, 12 data API key. I put the value here. And what that will do is, by replacing the API key in this part here, it will automatically do it in the other sections. So you don't have to do it, but it's always good to check each one the API key has been added. Similar on the sentiment analysis one, you go through, you have what's called an Alpha Vantage. So go to Alpha Vantage, get a free API key from them. You put that in, and then that will also work. And then you analyze the output and schedule that. So, okay, and now let's try it again with this last API key updated. Actually, no, let's look at Google, because Google's having a lot going on at the moment with AI. I imagine maybe there's some negative sentiments. And we can see, yeah, all the tools working away there. No errors, which is great. There was a lot of errors when I first tried this yesterday. So it's nice there's no errors, doing the technical analysis, analyzing with the GPT. Okay, of course, as mentioned, it's a long workflow, so it can take a little bit of time. You got the code here, boom, email sent. Okay, let's see, and this one should have more data in terms of MACD data. Okay, overall analysis suggests maintain a hold position also. So price is currently testing the exponential moving average. Okay, hinting growing investor interest without clear momentum from the MACD and Bollinger Bands data. So we have extra data from the MACD Bollinger Bands. I'm not going to read all this. I will be releasing a tool soon where you guys can actually put in your own stock symbol and get this information. But this is more of a proof of concept on exactly how a tool like n8n. I hope you did find this video super helpful. Be sure to stick around for my next video. I'm going to be covering a crypto workflow, which is super advanced. Okay, so that's today's video, guys. If you did find value, please give it a big thumbs up. Please subscribe, comment below your thoughts. It really does help the channel out. And let me know if you want to see more of these type of videos. Do you want to see more stock analysis? Do you want to see more AI? What do you want to see more of? And I'll see you guys in the next video.